Alright, so I'm just gonna show a quick little, well, not necessarily a tutorial, but just how I create my decks. So, I use the 3 all the way across, don't know why I should do. But, so, for all my combat decks, I like to keep these 3 moves all the same. Because they're all situational starts. If they start off with a lot of lows, I'll just jump over it. If I want to get the first hit, I can get really far away and start with that. And if they start off with a lot of highs, and for all of my different decks, well, weapons and such, this is all an alternative attack. This is the whatever I want starter. So, all my attacks, there's a lot of fillers in them. Like after I get this, it's just 2 quick jabs to get to the next setup. So it's just, and now I'm in the next stance. And this is actually probably my most used stance because I actually have a triple low, which is creepy. It's actually really good for fighting windfalls when you think it wouldn't be. It's actually 4 lows because it goes in that stance. But what you can do is I actually have all of them. If you look where they all go to a wide sweeping attack after. That's a high as well. So bottom left stance goes to this alternative. And if you look at this one, top left stance goes to this, goes to this alternative. And then bottom left stance again goes to this alternative. And that and you know, if you want to do that one first, it's bottom left. So that means, let's say, if they start jumping, I can kick them. If they start jumping, I can kick them. If they start jumping, I can kick them. And even all the way after, I can kick them. So with that, it's pretty good against windfalls. I'd have to say my weakest fight against this is Cult, because I only have 1 move that can break his shit. And that actually doesn't even have a way to get to from my main attacks. It's only used after this. Oops. Oops. There we go. It's only used after that, really. But, you know, I use that move a lot, because that's like a very standard combo that I do against people that you see a lot. Especially cults. So, outside of that, there's mostly just fillers and some mix-ups and a guard break kill. So, with my moves, you see there's not really a way to get to this either. There's a few, but you'll never see me really ever use this attack unless it says a guard break. So let's say I do, well, this combos into the riposte. It's not really a parry riposte, but whatever. And this does. So my bottom left alternative combos into it, and my top right alternative combos into it. So that means, let's say I'm doing this, and I can break their guard, and that's true. That'll always be true. So I get a ton of damage out of that combo. Especially if I hit him with that, and then break guard, true combo. And then I can go into another low sweep. Or I can just go into another high. So against Windfall, it's incredibly good. Forsaken, it's just I have to start parrying. Well, I mean, fainting. And pretty much fight Forsakens pretty well. I just added this move right there because I was having troubles with another move I had. It was too obvious, so switch that out. So that's for my melee combat. Well, my hand-to-hand combat deck. So now, let's try my War Gloves. My War Gloves are a little bit different. They're better for fighting Cult, as you can see. They have the same starters. Instead of another low here, there's a to stop Cult, because I really like that move. And other than that, and you know, just a entire new bottom. The entire bottom changes all the time. A little bit more aggressive hits for chasing people down. Nothing special about it. And then the swords, same starters here, and a parry strike. This parry strike parries the left side, so if they hit me from the left, I can, oops, I can hit it right there, you see it. And then I do that into a bunch of attacks. But aside from that, it's nothing special. It has the same thing, except for I can't get the riposte here. Won't let you get it on swords. the other one, so I have my next highest damaging attack, which is this one. So let's say on guard break, I get that. And that's pretty much all my decks. The other ones are, all the other decks you see that I have are pretty much fuck-ups. Just what I was doing on the way. Got here, see I found out I like the starters, but my lows are all different and it doesn't hit as hard. I have this on all my decks though, just because I figured that out pretty good. But yeah. Okay, one more thing. I forgot to mention one thing that might help people quite a bit when creating a deck. So, one thing is you need to pay attention to where your moves finish a lot. Because what that does is not only lets you make mix-ups like this, but it lets you keep your combo going. So if you look at the last ending position on all of them, which is highlighted in yellow, around the one I'm on right now, it never ends up in the same string. It always goes to another string. Because let's say if this was top right, I don't know, let's just do that. When I start in the top right stance, you just get this loop. And you know, that just makes them linear attacks quicker and it's a pain in the ass. So that's why you're going to want to start with an attack that ends up in another stance. I don't even know if that's the attack I was using. I think it is. Oops. Yeah, it is. Okay. So this ends in top left, this ends in bottom left, and this ends in top left. See, I don't want this to end in top right again, because I kind of want to keep the starters on this anonymous. I don't want to get them used to the sides of this, because this is actually right, left, left on my side. And if they start parrying this, it's going to be really, if they start parrying or dodging it, it's going to be really hard to keep going with my combos. Because if they interrupt me here on opening, it's going to be hard to start doing my lows in the mix-ups. So that's why I always make my last one go back to top left, so I can immediately start doing my low mix-ups. And that's just something I wanted to say. And make sure you pay attention that these link together. Because you're not going to want something like this in your string unless you're playing like Cult or something and you know you can cancel and absorb. Because you know you can just do that on reflex, don't have to worry about direction. Because it's a lot harder to cancel and parry than it is to like cancel and absorb or something. So having these heavy attacks inside of Cult's attack sequences are a lot more viable. Unless you're like, you know, god-like reflexes. But hey. So that's why I try and keep these heavier hitting moves in there. Except for this one. Because I can always cancel that one, then go into a low string, which is way too fast to... Yeah, that is hard to stop. But you know, it's normally best to do shit like that if you're Cult. Because you can cancel and absorb if things don't go your way. But okay, sorry, I just wanted to say that real quick. Now, have a good day, and thank you for watching.